Torrential rains falling across much of the Bluegrass region and now into much of eastern Kentucky as well. I'm tracking the very latest on the flash flood threat coming up.
He's my hero. He's my little buddy.
How a Powell County man says his dog saved his life when a flash flood washed their home away.
A wild police chase in 2 counties. How police stopped a woman they say was driving a stolen bucket truck.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good evening to you. Tonight we are tracking the threat for flash flooding across much of Kentucky, and it is another WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day.
Right now, slow-moving storms are dumping heavy rain in parts of the Bluegrass, and here's what it looked like in Lexington late this afternoon. High water covering part of Loudon Avenue there, but police say the water there has since receded. We begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. He shows us what he's tracking right now. Chris?
Yeah, a lot of warnings are out, flash flood warnings and general flood warnings out for parts of the Lexington Metro, Richmond, down into Lincoln County and across London and Manchester as well. And we continue to see Defender lighting up with wave after wave of shower and thunderstorm action. And this action is going to keep coming at us as we go through the evening. And the areas getting in under repeat showers and storms, now likely to see some flash flooding with that newly issued flash flood warning from parts of Madison County through Garrett County and into the Lincoln County area. Heavy rains here across Stanford, just to the north of Waynesburg, raining to beat the band across sections of Conway and to the Mount Vernon area. And look at the clustering of lightning on top of Berea. Folks that are traveling across the I-75 corridor, Richmond, Berea, down toward Mount Vernon, a lot of standing water likely to show up on the roads there. Watch the creeks and the streams. That's a very intense thunderstorm. Lexington, a little bit of a break as of now. What's happening, we're getting the storms to our south and to our north. Another intense thunderstorm out of Nicholas County heading into Flemingsburg. Let's flip the script and go into southern Kentucky. London, you had some significant flooding earlier in the day. Caught a bit of a dry break this afternoon. Look what's back. Showers, thunderstorms are increasing. Really going to focus a lot of attention over the next several hours on what is going on for I-64 and points south, especially as I put Defender into motion over the past couple of hours. And notice how the thunderstorms just keep coming at us. Same areas, one right after another, and that's going to be the cause for concern. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell joins me now. Jim has been tracking some of the reports that we've been seeing across the area. And Jim, rains are really adding up.
Oh, they have been. This is just the past 24 hours that you see here, and we're talking about all kinds of extremely bright colors, indicating that we are talking several inches of rainfall. Again, those are the estimates. Some of the ground truth might be even higher than that, but overall, some of those estimates are coming in, especially into central portions of Kentucky, 2, 3, maybe even some 4-inch areas there. We see some of those yellows and then back out toward Bowling Green. That bullseye really grabs your attention. Here's what the heavy rain has done. This is from today. This is out in Mercer County right along 68. Folks driving through high water. We keep saying turn around, don't drown, don't risk it. There you see some folks going through it. Even the picture that taken as someone is getting ready to head through that water. Very dangerous. And here's one reason why, Chris. Look at this other picture. This one coming out of Powell County. Road gone underneath water. The water came through and washed that out earlier. That's right around the Poplar Bluff area in Powell County. That's what you might be driving into when you risk going into those flooded roadways. So keep that in mind as well, and especially keep it in mind as we head through the next several hours with more rounds of heavy rain coming our way.
Imagine pulling up on that. It's surrounded by water. You think the water is only maybe 6, 8 inches deep, 12 inches deep. Then all of a sudden you're driving through it and the bottom drops out because part of the road is washed away. You just can't see that with water covering it. Guys, that's just one of many reasons we say never drive through a flooded roadway, turn around, don't drown. We're continuing to track rounds of thunderstorms when I come back in a few minutes.
And Chris, on that note, flash flooding in Powell County led to some rescues near Clay City this afternoon.
And high water even trapped some people in their homes. Monique Blair continues our First Alert Weather Team coverage from Powell County.
Powell County Emergency Management describes today as chaotic, saying they've responded from one emergency call to another. The most recent one out here on Adams Ridge Road. You can see the car stuck in high water behind me. We're told when emergency crews showed up here to the scene, the man was sitting on the roof of his car, stuck in this water. That man was rescued within minutes after emergency crews were able to pull him out of the water using a backhoe. Emergency Management Director Mike Sparks says the county had some heavy rains overnight for several hours. In turn, and causing issues of flash flooding all over the county.
It's roughly around 10 residents that was actually in the water and water all the way around them and so forth. And we had to shut Highway 11 down due to the water being pulled up and rushing across the roadway there too. And then as we was clearing up there, all the residents agreed that they would stay in the house except for one. We actually rescued one and took to their families.
From that, rescue crews were then called to Brush Creek Road, where some hikers were trapped by high water. They were able to get out once the water receded. Sparks says the county is actively preparing for the possibility of more rain tonight. He says they are keeping a close eye on the sky as more rain possibly moves in. Reporting in Powell County, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Emergency management officials say it takes less than a foot of moving water to sweep a vehicle off the road. That is why they say it is important to never try and drive across a flooded road.
An earlier round of storms also caused flash flooding in Powell County overnight. One man tells us that he was inside his home when high water washed it away. As Mike Linden tells us, the man says his dog saved his life.
I mean, I've seen it get up and things, but I've never seen it this bad. This here is the worst.
Lester Robinson has lived along Brush Creek on Winchester Road in Powell County for 12 years. He says flooding has never concerned him until last night.
The last two times, it just got up underneath my trailer, and that was it. It dropped real quick, but this time it pushed it.
Robinson says when he woke up in the middle of the night, he only had a few minutes to get out of the trailer before it washed away. In fact, these are his front steps to where the trailer used to be, and he says that last night he couldn't even see them. It wasn't the sound of rushing water outside his window that woke Robinson up, but the most unlikely of heroes.
What is it?
His 1-year-old Chihuahua Terrier mix, Feisty.
He's my hero. he's my little buddy.
The trailer and most of Robinson's belongings were scattered for several hundred feet down the creek. He says had it not been for Feisty waking him up, he may not have made it out of the trailer alive.
Underneath that bridge, I'd have been pinned in there.
With the help of family members, Robinson has a temporary place to live just as long as Feisty comes along too.
They say a dog's a man's best friend, and that right there just proved it.
He's my hero. Something happens to him, I'd lose it.
In Powell County, Mike Linden, WKYT.
Feisty deserves some treats, some extra treats, that is. Heavy rain caused flash flooding in parts of southern Kentucky as well. Let's take a look at that. In London, part of 4th Street was underwater. Elsewhere in Laurel County, emergency managers say about 10 inches of water covered a road near Hopper Creek. And parts of Highway 80 West were also covered in high water. No injuries have been reported. And some of you have been sending in your eyewitness pictures of flooding today. This one coming from Ashley. It shows a flooded road in Eubank. You can email your pictures to eyewitness@wkyt.com or use the hashtag KYWeather.
It was a bizarre scene on the roads of Fayette and Madison counties this morning. Police say a woman led them on a chase in a stolen bucket truck. They say she stole the truck from a gas station in Lexington, then went down Interstate 75 to Richmond, turned around and came back to Lexington. Despite some flat tires, police say she didn't stop until she reached West Main Street in Lexington. Officer Don shot this video from Sky First of that area where police say they arrested the woman. Sean Moody talked to some people who saw the chase.
Buddy, it was something else. I'll never forget this.
Scott Barnhill wasn't ready for all this when he stopped at a gas station around 10 a.m. He said he noticed a woman jump into a bucket truck at a gas pump.
And when I went in, I said, "Hey, man, is that girl with you?" And he said, "No." He said, "Man, she's still in my truck." I said, "I'll go follow her."
Police said the truck driver tried to stop the woman but ended up being dragged about 50 feet. Barnhill said he followed the woman down 75 to Richmond, where she turned around and then headed north with Richmond Police, Madison County Sheriff's deputies, State Police, and Lexington Police close behind.
Heck, man, there was no way I was going to let that girl get by. There was no way, man. I was going to follow her to hell.
State Police said the woman ran over several spike strips, blowing out tires, but they say she kept going all the way to the Newtown Pike exit. Police said they chased the truck along Newtown, Alexandria, and Leestown Road. They said they wanted to stop her before she could get into downtown.
She's shown her willingness to push or move or go around anything in her path.
A state police cruiser stopped in front of the truck on West Main, and police say she ran into it, bringing the chase to an end. They arrested the woman and charged her with wanton endangerment, DUI, aggravated robbery, fleeing or evading police, and criminal mischief. Scott Barnhill followed all the way to the finish. He said he hoped his 4th of July weekend would be a little more calm than today.
Hell, man, that's my fireworks. Lord Jesus, man.
In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Well, the truck's owner says his worker was being checked out at the hospital for hand injuries, but he was expected to be okay.
New tonight, Lexington police say they have arrested the man accused of scuffling with a police officer earlier today. Police say they found 33-year-old Christopher Cobb just before 5 this afternoon in the parking lot of High Acres Shopping Center on Bryan Station Road. They say that about 7 this morning, a police officer pulled over Cobb's car on Interstate 64 for speeding. But soon, police say Cobb turned violent.
A brief struggle ensued, which led into the grass median, part of the interstate. The officer was assaulted during the struggle. I believe at some point during the confrontation, the suspect may have attempted to grab the officer's firearm.
Police say Cobb then ran into some nearby woods, but again, police say they arrested him a little more than an hour ago at a parking lot on Bryan Station Road. Police say the officer had minor injuries and did not have to go to the hospital. Lexington city leaders now say the Dirt Bowl Basketball League will stay at the Dunbar Community Center for the rest of this season. The league was moved from Douglas Park after a shooting there during games the night of June 21st. One man later died. 4 others were also shot but survived. Police have not made any arrests. City leaders say the shooting left players and fans concerned about safety in the park, and police say they can provide more security inside a gym rather than a park. So the city decided to leave the league at the community center. In future years, though, city leaders say they expect the Dirt Bowl to go back to Douglas Park. Bill and state officials say they're optimistic about the merger of 2 major health insurance companies.
Connecticut-based Aetna will spend about $35 billion to buy Humana. Louisville will lose its largest corporate headquarters, but Aetna says the city will become its headquarters for Medicare, Medicaid, and TRICARE business. Humana has 12,000 employees in Kentucky. If regulators approve the deal, it's expected to close next year. The 4th of July holiday weekend is getting off to a wet start, as you know, but there's still a lot of planned here in Lexington. A patriotic music concert is scheduled for tonight at 8 on the Morrison Lawn at Transylvania University. At last check, the show is still planned to go on despite the rain. Tomorrow, the Bluegrass 10,000 starts at 7:30 downtown. The parade will be at 2 tomorrow afternoon, and the festivities will wrap up at 10 tomorrow night with a fireworks display. So hope to see you at something. We'll be at the parade, so come out and see us.
If we need umbrellas, we'll use them.
We'll just do it.
We'll be there.